What is going on, everybody? What's up, Empire? What is up, DTA Army? Welcome back to another daily analysis. Now, today I do have some very important things that I want to talk about, especially things that we really need to think about in terms of limiting and managing our expectations and our hopes. So let's hop right into today's daily analysis. All right, so let's hop right into it and take a look at how we closed last week's candle. So looking at the weekly candle view, we can see that last week we did manage to close above the Fib 618, closing at the 0.063 level. But, starting this trading week off, we are currently below the Fib 0.618, and we're also, floating in between that 0.062 to 0.061 range, right? So really struggling to stay above that 0.062 resistance level. But, on the bright side of things, we can see that, the bull market support band, it is starting to gain some traction and it's going up slowly, right? So if we do have a touch on this with the candlesticks, we all pretty much know what happens anytime we do get a touch on the bull market support band. So that's what we have going on the weekly. Taking a look on the daily chart, nothing really too exciting, right? So we can see that we did break out of this bull flag that we were in. And right now, currently, we're still currently moving sideways, right? We're also, sitting below the Fib 0.618 extension level. And this is something that ideally we don't necessarily want to do, right? Especially since we noticed that there's consecutive, bear presence. We can see that from these white candles. The bears are really, steadily holding control over the market. But ultimately, we do need a little bit more of bull presence so we can continue to go up and have good momentum, right? So if we can get a close at or above the 0.063 level, which it will be above the Fib 0.618, then that will let us know that we have a pretty good amount of bull momentum, so we can continue to change direction. Now, if we manage to come down, right, and we close at our lower support levels right here, which we know is the 0.058 level, then that would be a signal to us that, there's a lot of bear momentum and we may start to see a downtrend. So that's pretty much everything that we have on the daily, but let's take a look at the 4 hour to see what's going on. So on the 4 hour, we can see that we do have our floor, right? Our floor is at the 0.058 to 0.059 or roughly 6 cents range, right? We've had a total of 3 touches here. 1, 2, 3, right? A triple bottom. And we've been in between this range, peaking at 0.067 for quite some time, right? So this is letting us know that we are in a ranging market. AMP has been consolidating for quite some time, and the market should make a decision in terms of where it wants to go pretty soon, right? This has been ranging for quite some time, and if we do fall to the downside, we know where our lower levels of support is, right? So if we do fall to the downside, ultimately we have support at the 0.054 range, which is right here, right? Looking right here where we previously flipped resistance into support. And if we fall any lower than that, then we could come down to the 0.049 range, which would be right here, which is a previous level of support, and possibly down to the 0.045 range. All right, so those are our lower levels of support on the 4 hour if we do break this floor price right now, which is holding up. All right, so that's what we have going on for AMP. And really briefly, let's just take a look at Bitcoin to see what's going on. Bitcoin has had some great momentum over the weekend, like we called, right? We had this huge bull flag. We broke out, literally everything that we called. And this is Bitcoin on the daily. Let's look at Bitcoin on the 4 hour to see what's going on. All right, so on the 4 hour, we can see that we managed to flip the 43.3K level of resistance and support, which is ideal. And now we are headed to retest that good old 47K mark, right? Again, something that we called. But there is some important things to really think about, such as, the U.S. infrastructure bill that we know the Senate will be voting on Tuesday, right? This Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So for anybody that doesn't know, this is a really good deep dive about the U.S. infrastructure bill and the implications that it could have on the broader crypto market from Mr. Will, which is a huge influencer and trader on Twitter as well as in the crypto market. Now, I would recommend y'all to, just to look at this section of this article on Medium, and I'll include a link for this inside of the video description below. But, this article is partly factual, partly opinionated. I would stick to just the facts, which is, the concerns of the infrastructure bill and also what the bill is, not necessarily his opinions, right? Everybody can have an opinion, and the opinion is, something that everybody has, but it doesn't mean that it's facts, right? So the facts of this bill is that the crypto provisions in this bill, they aim to raise $28 million towards the infrastructure bill through funding expanded digital assets taxations. So basically, they plan to raise this additional 28 billion through taxing digital assets, which necessarily isn't the concern, but the real concern is that they will be able to impose broad third parties being able to report requirements on any crypto firm deemed as a broker, right? So taking a look right here, right, it kind of lets us know, how do you know who is classified as a broker? Well, currently right now, the bill includes miners, stakers, software developers, and other network validators, which would thus require them to provide personal information to the government. So, right, this bill basically implicates that a portion of the broader crypto ecosystem would be required to hand over their information, right? So we have decentralized infrastructure, decentralized currencies, but the operations and the broader ecosystem of that would be centralized, right? So this is a huge concern for the cryptocurrency market. And if this passes without any amendments or without clearly defining what a broker is, I think that the markets would negatively react from this. And we've had a lot of extreme reactions from the market ever since COVID first hit, right? The markets are very in tune about what's going on in the news and stuff like that. So, that is something to keep an eye out for on Tuesday. But we'll see what happens. Nobody can predict the future. So make sure that you guys are using stop losses if you're trading. Make sure that you have something to fall back on, because we don't really know how this could turn out. So until tomorrow, DTA is out.